Good morning, everybody. How we doing on this Tuesday morning? All right, it is Tuesday. I am striving this week not to have any weekday bloopers. So there we go. All right, who am I saying good morning to in the live chat this morning? Starting with the top. Good morning, Penina. Hey, Liz. How are ya? We got a tailed feature, our lovable Thrax, the guard dragon of the internet. We have Wolf Girl, our sandwich chick, in the live chat. There's a Mitch, there's a Zeph, and how are you guys doing this morning? Oh, there's my Mad Panda. I figured he'd pop in there. Hey, Rhetorical. And we have a Callie. That's who we have this morning. For those of you that don't know, somebody was dumb enough to try to argue with me about Castro and communism and stuff yesterday in the comment section of two of my very much older videos. I thought that was rather funny and comical, so I screen capped it and not only put it in my Discord, but I put it on Twitter too. So everybody else got a good laugh out of it. Out of all the shout-outs that I did yesterday, I think the most comical one was Satan and Satire, who never remembered opening up a VidMe account. So even he got alerted that he had a VidMe account, believe it or not. I think he was drunk and, you know, probably logged in with his Twitter account and they went up there. They tried to go up against the master. Didn't work too well for them. And yay, Nightbot's not getting fired. I see him shilling. Okay, so that's what happened yesterday. Also yesterday, unfortunately, Ronan came home early with a killer migraine, which he was able to knock out. And there are a couple of things that we've taken to doing in my Discord. We are now playing Star Trek Online on my Discord. And I'm hoping that a couple more people will stop by and we can play League of Legends or maybe, you know, Lord of the Rings Online or some other games together in some of our other Discord voice chats that we have down there. I had fun with Mitch and the Batman last night playing Star Trek Online along with Ronan. There were a couple of missions where we got our butts kicked, but we had fun. What can you say? It's all about having fun, relaxing, and yes, I am a Star Trek nerd. Yep, Woot Games, I know. As soon as I get a better rig, I'll probably be live streaming. So, I'm cutting this short. I am also dragging this down here so we know what that means. And this morning, we're going to start out with some news because I figured that is relevant for the morning. So we have this particular map this morning. And let's see what we've got for the news. Put on my specs because I can't see the small writing because I'm slowly going blind, I think. All right, severe storms to unleash damaging winds across northeastern U.S. into Tuesday night. Severe thunderstorms will march eastward across the northern United States threatening to trigger damage and delays into Tuesday night. An unusually strong push of dry Canadian air will clash with high heat and humidity from the Mississippi Valley through the Ohio Valley, mid-Atlantic, and into western New England. Thunderstorms will congregate and gain strength along this dividing line on Tuesday afternoon and evening, stretching from Paducah, Kentucky, to Pittsburgh and Syracuse, New York. Blinding downpours and winds high enough to knock down trees and power lines and toss around loose items will be the far-reaching impact. Hail can also occur. A few of the strongest storms could even spin up a tornado, AccuWeather meteorologist Eric Leister said. So you guys be careful in those areas. The thunderstorms will tend to move fast enough to limit the flash flood threat to local areas. Ponding of water on roads and slight rises on small streams will be more common. Stretches of Interstate 64, 70, 80, 81, 87, and 90 may be slowed during busy route commute times as downpours reduce visibility to near zero. Those headed to Little League World Series games in Williamsport, Pennsylvania should come prepared for stormy conditions and delays. Fans may need to evacuate the stands if lightning is nearby. So that is what's going on there. A further read is showers and thunderstorms will reach the I-95 corridor late Tuesday night. However, the risk for severe weather will be minimal as the storms lose their punch after midnight. A drenching shower and a few rumbles of thunder will be more common from Washington, D.C. to Boston. Some of the showers could linger into early Wednesday and impact the morning commute. Farther southwest along the tail end of the system, thunderstorms could turn feisty with torrential downpours, frequent lightning, and gusty winds from central Arkansas westward through the river on Tuesday evening and overnight. Yep, I rotate the wrenches out here and there. Morning, no name. All right, here we go. And I think I also have a weather clip to play.
Severe thunderstorms are likely right along that ahead of a cold front stretching from Kentucky all the way north to Vermont. Now, behind the front, it's going to be noticeably cooler, less humid through midweek, and California seeing rain.
Good morning, Raging Heavens.
Swirling across the southwest. Now, there is a front that is progressing into the northeast, producing that risk for severe weather, but at ahead of the front, it is warm with 90s in New York, D.C., Charlotte.
Morning, Doubting Tommy.
Now, that same front has stalled across parts of the Rockies, where thunderstorms are likely to on Tuesday for Denver, Albuquerque, Salt Lake City. Going down behind Apple is 73, the normal high this time of the year around 80, so it is below normal for this time of the year, but a little bit warmer.
Morning, Hunley.
In the Pacific Northwest with highs in the 80s. So looking at the severe threat on Tuesday, non-severe general thunderstorms across the four corners, the Great Basin there, but the greatest risk for severe weather is right in this yellow shaded area. This is a slight risk stretching from Louisville, Kentucky, through Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, and Burlington, Vermont. This is right along that ahead of the cold front that is pressing into some of this heat and humidity. So a slight risk for the Storm Prediction Center's outlook means that scattered severe thunderstorms are possible.
Morning, Sir Wolfie.
Tornadoes in addition to large hail and damaging winds. So it might be a good idea to have a way of receiving severe weather information if you are on the path of that front from Kentucky to Vermont. Also, heavy rain over parts of the Plains states, especially in and around Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. That is where we can see widespread rainfall amounts of 1 to 2 inches. Now, by Thursday,
morning, Neil.
Does make progress offshore the northeast coast. It's dramatically cooler by this time, no longer in the 90s, New York, D.C., in the low 80s. And by this time, Chicago sees clearing and cooler conditions in the 70s. The front will stall here for a time in the southern plains, southeast. We'll have to produce additional showers through Thursday.
Okay, there's the weather forecast. And if you like that, then I'll probably do more of those. I'm not a meteorologist, so I'll probably read the top weather story and then, do a little clip like I just did. So if you guys like that, let me know, and I can do more of those. Always trying to change stuff up. Let's see if Bannon plays this morning.
Bannon's last day as President Trump and the chief strategist. Bannon was the populist architect of Trump's election victory last year. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders described his departure as a mutual agreement between Bannon and White House Chief of Staff John Kelly. But as NPR's Scott Horsley reports, Bannon has plenty of enemies inside and outside of the White House.
It was exactly a year and a day ago that Steve Bannon took over as CEO of Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Credited with salvaging what had been a foundering operation. But that was part of his problem. Trump bristles at the idea anyone else deserves credit for his unlikely win. Mr. Bannon came on very late, you know that. I went through 17 senators, governors, and I won all the primaries. Mr. Bannon came on very much later than that. Long before his official role in the campaign, though, Bannon had been a cheerleader for Trump. As executive chairman of Breitbart News, a conservative website, he turned into a platform for the self-described alt-right. Bannon and Breitbart were a good match for Trump's anti-immigrant and anti-Muslim rhetoric. And this week, Bannon was one of the few White House staffers to embrace the president's controversial comments on Charlottesville. Nevertheless, Trump voiced only lukewarm support for his chief strategist when he spoke to reporters on Tuesday. He is not a racist, I can tell you that. He's a good person. He actually gets a very unfair press in that regard. But we'll see what happens with Mr. Bannon. Bannon may have done time at Goldman Sachs and Harvard Business School, but his power tropes are decidedly anti-establishment. Back in February, he told conservative activists he's happy to blow up government bureaucracies and the traditional news media. If you think they're going to give you your country back without a fight, you are sadly mistaken. Every day it is going to be a fight. But that take no prisoner style, which was so successful on the campaign trail, proved a liability in the White House. An all-travel ban was thrown out by the federal courts. Bannon's high-pressure sales tactics for Obamacare repeal backfired with lawmakers, and Bannon openly feuded with administration colleagues, including economic advisor Gary Cohn and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. When NBC's Chuck Todd asked Trump's national security advisor if he could even work with Bannon, H.R. McMaster sidestepped the question. Anybody who will help advance the president's agenda and advance the security, prosperity of the emergency. Do you believe Steve Bannon does that? I believe that everyone in the White House should be motivated. Earlier this week, Bannon raised eyebrows when he telephoned liberal magazine editor Robert Kuttner of the American Prospect and dismissed the white nationalists in Charlottesville as losers.
Morning, Mo.
And a collection of clowns. By some accounts, Bannon had already tendered his resignation when he gave that interview. The headline in Kuttner's magazine was unrepentant. Steve Bannon sounded like a man who feels damned if he doesn't full speed ahead. And I think he's going to do what he's going to do. His enemies are going to do what they're going to do. And hours after leaving his White House, he turned to Breitbart, King's editorial meeting. That suggests the administration's chief bomb thrower is not surrendering, just taking his weapons outside the White House and possibly taking aim at his former rivals on the inside. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
Okay, did that come in all right? Did everybody hear that okay? Because I'm trying different things to see if I can improve the audio before I get a better computer, so I'm hoping you guys heard that little radio snippet. That was supposed to play yesterday for the weekend recap, but it didn't quite work with the setup I was trying to use. So, too bad. And I hope you guys could hear it pretty well. So, let's see here. All right, let's see. Audio interlink. Yeah, I know, but with this computer, I'm afraid to do anything because the last time I tried to do a banana and an audio link and a virtual cable, it fucked everything else up. I heard it okay. Morning, Jay Willie. How are you? All right, I'm zooming in because this doesn't have a picture. I'm going to read some highlights of Trump's speech yesterday. And then we're going to talk about it a little bit. So here we go. The speech was in Arlington. And this is what he has to say about Afghanistan. This is why shortly after my inauguration, I directed Secretary of Defense Mattis and my national security team to undertake a comprehensive review of all strategic options in Afghanistan and South Asia. My original instinct was to pull out, and historically, I like following my instincts, but all of my life I've heard that decisions are much different when you sit behind the desk in the Oval Office. In other words, when you're President of the United States. So I studied Afghanistan in great detail and from every conceivable angle. After many meetings over many months, we held our final meeting last Friday at Camp David, with my cabinet and generals to complete our strategy. I arrived at 3 fundamental conclusions about America's core interest in Afghanistan. First, our nation must seek an honorable and enduring outcome worthy of the tremendous sacrifices that have been made, especially the sacrifices of lives. The men and women who serve our nation in combat deserve a plan for victory. They deserve the tools they need and the trust they have earned to fight and to win. Second, the consequences of rapid exit are both predictable and unacceptable. 9/11, the worst terrorist attack in our history, was planned and directed from Afghanistan because that country was ruled by a government that gave comfort and shelter to terrorists. A hasty withdrawal would create a vacuum that terrorists, including ISIS and Al-Qaeda, would eventually fill, just as happened before September 11th. Excuse me. And as we know, in 2011, America hastily and mistakenly withdrew from Iraq. As a result, our hard-won gains slipped back into the hands of terrorist enemies. Our soldiers watched the cities they fought for and bled to liberate, and won, were occupied by a terrorist group called ISIS. The vacuum we created by leaving too soon gave them safe haven for ISIS to spread, grow, recruit, and launch attacks. We cannot repeat in Afghanistan the mistake our leaders made in Iraq. Third and finally, I concluded that the security threats we face in Afghanistan and the border region are immense. Today, 20 U.S. designated foreign terrorist organizations are active in Afghanistan and Pakistan, the highest concentration in any region anywhere in the world. I'm going to have to fact check that. No one denies that we have inherited a challenging and troubling situation in Afghanistan and South Asia, but we do not have the luxury of going back in time and making different or better decisions. When I became president, I was given a bad and very complex hand, but I fully knew what I was getting into, big and intricate problems. But one way or another, these problems would be solved. I'm a problem solver, and in the end, we will win. We must address the reality of the world as it exists right now, the threats we face, and the confronting of all the problems of today, and extremely predictable consequences of a hasty withdrawal. We need to look no further than last week's vile, vicious attack in Barcelona to understand that terror groups will stop at nothing to commit the mass murder of innocent men, women, and children. You saw it for yourself. Horrible. As I outlined in my speech in Saudi Arabia 3 months ago, America and our partners are committed to stripping terrorists of their territory, cutting off their funding, and exposing the false allure of their evil ideology. Terrorists who slaughter innocent people will find no glory in this life or the next. They are nothing but thugs and criminals and predators. And that's right, losers. Working alongside our allies, we will break their will, dry up their recruitment, keep them from crossing our borders, and yes, we will defeat them, and we will defeat them handily. In Afghanistan and Pakistan, America's interests are clear. We must stop the resurgence of safe havens that enable terrorists to threaten America, and we must prevent nuclear weapons and materials from coming into the hands of terrorists and being used against us or in any part of the world, anywhere in the world for that matter. So that's pretty much part of his speech. Bucket list. Yeah, Trump says he pulled out. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. Here we go. One more. But Pakistan has also sheltered the same organizations that try every single day to kill our people. We have been paying Pakistan billions and billions of dollars at the same time they are housing the very terrorists that we are fighting. But that will have to change, and that will change immediately. No partnership can survive a country's harboring of militants and terrorists who target U.S. service members and officials. It is time for Pakistan to demonstrate its commitment to civilization, order, and to peace. Another critical part of South Asia, of the South Asia strategy for America, is to further develop a strategic partnership with India, the world's largest democracy and a key security and economic partner of the United States. We appreciate India's important contributions to stability in Afghanistan, but India makes billions of dollars in trade with the United States, and we want them to help us more with Afghanistan, especially in the area of economic assistance and development. We are committed to pursuing our shared objectives for peace and security in South Asia and the border Indo-Pacific region. Finally, my administration will ensure that you, the brave defenders of the American people, will have the necessary tools and rules of engagement to make the strategy work and work effectively and work quickly. So those are some excerpts of his speech. I did glance at it really quickly this morning, but I felt, those were the highlights of his speech. His speech, I believe, was another one that was well written in some parts, but you could tell that he got overzealous in others. Because as I read the whole speech, he did get really excited in some parts, and a little bit of his old campaigning self came out. So those were some of the parts that I skipped in order to get to the more relevant parts. But I hope you like the parts that I read. So basically by this, he's saying he's not going to pull out of Afghanistan. If anything, he's actually going to reinforce the troops that we already have there in an effort to finally get rid of ISIS. The problem with groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and I've said this in previous newscasts, is their terror cells. You find and eliminate one cell, 2 or 3 pop up somewhere else. It's like a game of whack-a-mole. It's a never-ending battle. It's a never-ending fight, and this is a war we've been fighting for 16 years now, and it hasn't ended yet. And I don't think it's ever going to have a finite resolution. There's always going to be something going on. There's always going to be somebody popping up. There's always going to be groups rearing their ugly heads in the name of, Islamic terrorism and jihad and, radical Islam in general. So in order to say we're going to win this fight against terror, it's hearkening back to baby Bush days. And that's how I distinguish the two of them. You really can't ever win a war against terrorism. You can curtail it. You could possibly slow it down. But terror will always exist in the world as long as there is an ideology that thinks that it can take over the whole world and subjugate its masses. And that's just my 2 cents on that matter. Let me go ahead and the never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way. Exactly. It's what it feels like, right? All right. Barcelona news. Update on Barcelona. 4 surviving Barcelona attack suspects appear in court. The 4 men were arrested last week for their alleged involvement in the planning or execution of attacks in Barcelona on Thursday and the northeastern resort town of Cambril early Friday. They were to testify before National Court Judge Fernando Andreu in Madrid, who will decide whether they should be jailed or released. Spanish media have named the suspects as Driss Al-Kabir, Mohammed Allah, Saleh Karib, and Mohammed Huli Shamal. Police have not yet confirmed their names. The lone fugitive from the cell was shot to death Monday after he flashed what turned out to be a fake suicide bell at troopers who confronted him in a vineyard not far from the city he terrorized. Police said they had scientific evidence that the fugitive, Yonis Abu Yaqub, and I know I butchered that last name. Let me see. 22, drove the van that barreled through Barcelona's crowd Las Ramblas promenade, killing 13 people, then hijacked a car and fatally stabbed its driver while making his getaway. Abu Yaqub's brother and friends make up the rest of the 12-man extremist cell, along with an imam, who was one of 2 people killed in the Alcanar house. The Alcanar house, for those of you who don't know, was a house that was discovered by Spanish authorities to house lots of canisters of butane fuel because they were also planning an explosion as another terrorist attack. And remember, Barcelona went through, I think it was 3 attacks in 3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Something along those lines. Or was it Thursday, Friday? I think it was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is when they did that. But it was 3 days in a row where they had to withstand attacks. And it's horrendous over there. It's absolutely horrendous. All right. Let's see here. Next news story. Boink. Yep. Our boy Maduro. All right. Venezuela prepares World Summit to defend legislative body. Yep, Zeus has made an appearance. Let me see. Let me scoot over so you guys can see him a little bit better. Hey, boo-boo. You gonna say hello to the people? So you're gonna lie down out of sight. All right, let me tilt it down a little bit so everybody can see Zeus. There we go. There's the news hound in the background. Caracas, Reuters. Venezuela is preparing an international summit to rally support for an all-powerful lawmaking body whose recent creation drew widespread foreign condemnation as a power grab by leftist President Nicolás Maduro. Late last month, in the face of anti-government street protests, Venezuela elected a 545-member constituent assembly at the behest of Maduro. On Friday, the assembly granted itself lawmaking powers. It was the latest blow to an opposition-controlled Congress whose decisions have been nullified by Maduro's loyalist Supreme Court. Yep. Zeus has a fan club. We have drawn up a plan to call a worldwide solidarity with the people of Venezuela against Donald Trump's threat and in defense of the Constituent Assembly, Maduro said in a television interview on Sunday. Good luck with that. The opposition boycotted the election, calling it an affront to democracy. It was an early presidential election, which it is sure Maduro will lose as his popularity falls along an economy blighted by triple-digit inflation and acute shortages of food and medicine. A bloc of countries called the Lima Group, including Peru, Argentina, Brazil, Canada, Colombia, and 7 other nations in the hemisphere late Friday, joined the United States in criticizing the assembly for usurping Congress's powers. Anti-government marches have stalled since the assembly was inaugurated on August 5th because he said he was going to be very stern against anybody that opposed him. Gee, communism. In its finest working session, the assembly fired Venezuela's chief prosecutor, Luisa Ortega, who had accused Maduro of human rights abuses. Ortega fled to neighboring Colombia last week. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos said on Monday she was under the protection of his government and would be granted asylum if she requested it. Everybody knows. All right, let me see here. And along those same lines, I'm glad my Kindle is behaving. My computer hardly does. U.S. sanctions 8 more Venezuelan leaders tied to Maduro. All sanctioned individuals have had their U.S. assets frozen, and Americans are barred from doing business with them. All 8 sanctioned Wednesday are Maduro's political appointees. Among them is Adán Coromoto Chávez Frías, brother of the late President Hugo Chavez. Maduro stripped his political opponents of power on July 30th to create a new legislature packed only with Maduro's supporters. United States, along with Canada and several Latin American nations, labeled the vote fraudulent and a sign of a dictatorship. On Tuesday, several foreign ministers, including Brazeal, Argentina, Mexico, and Canada, convened in Lima, Peru, and announced they wouldn't recognize the Constituent Assembly. So there we are there. They did levy sanctions. They're still wondering whether or not they want to levy sanctions on the oil export trade, because that is their main export, and we do business with them oil-wise as well. Yeah, basically, Hunley, the world is going to fuck. Going to hell in a handbasket, and we're in the express lane, as I like to, so jokingly say at times, but it does look like we are in that express lane, unfortunately. All right, here we go. Here's our shout-outs for the day. First up is JT Viper with his wit and his way of bringing points. He does a lot of commentary videos as well as fundraisers on his channel, so please check him out. Next one up on the list, he's back. Mim Headroom. Politics didn't bring him back, but what they're doing to comic books did. His comic books commentary on his channel is funny, witty, insightful, and you find yourself nodding in agreement. Modwain Allaron, another one with political commentary with very good points, a very clear way of speaking, and a very good way of bringing his points across. Please subscribe to Modwain. He's a pretty cool guy. Let me see. The Finer Print, recently discovered in an online group. I checked out a couple of his videos this morning. He's funny. He's insightful. He makes really good and clear points. He's really entertaining to watch. Good morning, Straight Sis Male. How you doing? So please check out the Finer Print. I gave him a sub this morning. Maybe you should too. He's kind of cool. I think so anyway. Of course, that's just me. He's a really funny guy, especially in Twitter DMs as well as over here. So check him out. So that's my little display for the morning. What do we have over here? Let me scroll down. And it's Tuesday, so I found one. We're going to have hashtag fun this morning. As soon as the page decides that it's going to load and behave. Let's see here. Can I scroll this over? Yay! Our morning hashtag this morning is Hashtag rejected comic book characters. Captain Meowville. Spider Vein Man. The Karate Chicken. Wait for it. And there goes the chicken. Catman. Nick Fury. Crazy Catwoman. All right. Spider Dog. The Orange Menace. I had to put that one in there. I kind of make fun of Trump from time to time, too. The Smoker and the Midnight Toker. Crybaby. Let me see. Hot Air Man. Boy, they're making a lot of jokes about Trump. That's all right. The Gangrene Lantern. Shitstorm. The Hot Flash. The Shusher. Viagra Woman. That's a little scary. And last but not least, the Non-Illustrated Man and Gray Jonah Jameson as hashtag rejected comic book. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that little snippet. Every once in a while, I find a good one and I try to like keep tabs on it so I can share it with you guys. If there's anything you guys want to see, anything you want me to add to the programming, I'll be more than willing to program it, you know, add it in there, work it in somehow. May make the show a little bit longer. But, okay, as far as before, if you like the fact that I added in weather news, please type 1 in the chat and I'll continue the weather news. If you want me not to continue it, type 2 in the live chat. Let's see some of our comments over here. Let me see here. What do we got? Wolf Girl, can never win against terrorism, as a person can become a terrorist at any point for any reason. I completely agree. Let me see here. Who else? Mitch the Ripper. Elephants always look like they're smiling even when trampling people. Let me see here. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. I'm neutral on weather. I watch space weather every morning, though. Ah, okay. All right. Cool. So you guys want me to keep doing the weather. All right, I will do that. I will find one and do the little video clip in the morning. Now, were the video clips playing okay for everybody? Yeah, I figured you'd have to be different. Did you guys hear it okay? I know it was probably so quiet. I'm trying to find ways of improving that without taxing out my poor computer, who seems to be on its last legs. So let me pour a little bit more coffee because I'm running out of coffee in my cup, which is a travesty. Just in case you guys are wondering, this is International Delight Hershey's Chocolate Caramel Creamer. No, I didn't get paid to say that. I just like the creamer. Figured I'd share it with you guys. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can do this without making any noises. All right, cool. All right, yay. I didn't clank my spoon in the mug. All right. As always, my friends, you can support me by going to my website and becoming a patron or becoming a sponsor. Sponsors, if you are a content creator, means you get a little 20-second bite at the end of any live cast that I do or any pre-recorded videos that I do. Please check out the jewelry on my website. My tip jar is floating around in the live chat if you want to give me a tip. Or if you want to hit up my super chat. Good morning, A Hero Duelist. I am about to end the stream, so you're just a tad bit late, but that's okay. So there are many ways to support me, so please check those out. And also check the my Twitter timeline if you're following me, because I will I will tweet out and shout out the creators during the day that I have shouted out on the show. And as far as live streams, Brazeal has Jason's Pub at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and our own Penina Chan in the live chat is doing a Let's Play of The Joy of Creation at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Will she make it out of the next area of the game? Only time and tuning in will tell. If you're ready for suspense, lots of jump scares, and Penina hollering at the same time you jump 2 feet out of your chair, tune in to Penina tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and check out her Let's Play. Just a tip. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you, Panda. And on that note, let me bring this up because we know what time it is. Hopefully I won't put it. Oh, there we go. Here. And on that note, my friends, may your coffee ever flow, may your caffeine be ever strong, and may you have a totally terrific Tuesday. See you guys in Discord, and for those of you that don't have my Discord link, check the live chat or DM me on Twitter. Oh, morning, Dark Art. See you guys later.